What is poppin', people? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We've got more Cendrillmon with scrambles, this time facing off against GraceNovamon. Obviously there's going to be some Mirage in it, but it is actual GraceNovamon here. So we're going to be opening up with a Shoemon, the training, and sending Arissa to the bottom. So we're going to pick up the 4, Corona in the back, and we are going to have KnTElixar as a memory setter to open up, set up for a pretty strong turn 2 probably. Wonder Stomp going to come down to give us the draw power, the Shoemon double hit into the Cendrillmon, and the Arissa. And I think we can go slightly further. It's going to be the Shoemon play out, Arissa. Pushing up to 4 now thanks to the start of main. Alright. I'm assuming it's a Galgamon. No, okay, we're going to go for the KnTElixar to turn into a different Coronamon. Then we're going to get the the Galgamon early. Double Galgamon, so this way he actually gets the memory out of both of them. So pretty smart way of doing it. And then we're going to play the Sio, and then when we revert off of the second Coronamon inherit, this means we can actually get the memory back here. So just kind of nay-naying on him as we build a bajillion. And we could, since it's the 3-cost Arissa, if we end on an Apollo here, then we can go crazy. But instead, we're going to end on a Mirage, which kind of cringe. Also, he is going to gain the memory back now, which I think is kind of awkward for him. And I think you can see that as well. As like, yeah, he got the security burn, and it also means, you know, if he does any searching or anything like that, it's going to be kind of awkward. But realistically, it's not going to be too bad because we're going to go Shoo, gain the memory back. And then if you train and go Chaparral, you can shoot the Lunamon. Or you can just try and actually get rid of the Mirage here. The problem with the Mirage as well is this is 2 Coronamon inherits that are just completely locked up. We're going to go Scramble into the Chaparral. And that's going to be putting the minus down because there are 3 bodies on the board now because of the Lunamon, which I believe is sec -1 as well. And then we're going to go into the Cendrillmon when digivolving, and then just full clears the board and only gets the 1 check in, but still really clean. Takes the Mirage off there, didn't go plus in hand, really smart. So yeah, the Mirage, a bit of an overextension. I think it forced him to play awkward, but it did what it could. Gonna pick up a Light Fang and a 2-color card, so we do get to pick up the second Agumon and then go from there. He's considering going, but we're actually just going to choose to go for a second Sio. Proof that we're actually playing GraceNova rather than like any of the hellish turn skip things is the fact that you have both the Light Fang and the Nightclaw versions of the Tamers. Start of main, of course, we do have the token played out, and then we're going to go for a training. And the thing is, you can kind of stay. We're going to swing in, shrink off the Agumon there, and then we are big enough because the inherit of the 4 is going to shrink down security by a little bit. So the Bond of Bravery Ace in security isn't going to be enough to beat over the Cendrillmon. It is bigger than the security. We are going to push out, once again, straight to 4. Lekis, 1, 2, 3. It is going to be that single hit into the Apollomon. Then tap the KnTElixar, go into Fire, gain back 2. Going to pick up and send all but the Goodnight Moon. Going to get to stop one of the things from suspending. We're gonna then shoot the token. So this means there's no longer any protection now. And what he has to go for is, so there's only 1 tamer. He has no jamming because he committed both the jamming inherits to the last stack. So if he gets shrunk by Shine Greymon burst mode Ace here, he probably dies in security. Because this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this will be 3 checks. This will be 3 checks, and you're more likely to die on any of those if a Shine Greymon comes down, because it'll get the shrink. You're not going to pop the burst mode out on the way either. So it's thinking about it. We're just double checking how many cards are in hand, and we have 12. So we're going to gain back 3 if we go into a Mirage, but that's going to be the end of the loop. So I was standing over his shoulder. You see, we're going to see the smile there. So we're going to go straight in, and we are not going to be counter timing. So we're going to pop the Cendrillmon, check all the checks. There's no longer anything on board for him to be able to turn into a Diana, but now we're going to KnTElixar. And then he has the choice now at start of opponent's turn. So get to do your scramble first. Get to load the Sundry to the top and then play the body on play. And then GraceNova immediately shoot the body, and then we get to draw for turn and then raise. So yeah, very funny. And yeah, Conquest Collectibles marker there to show the DP, very, very useful, and immediately glared and a Psyduck for good measure. But yeah, up to 4. There's still plenty to work with here. Like, he's still got to well, okay. He only gets to play on board because he pushed out of raising. But it is really funny that GraceNova and like the Nightclaw Tamer mean that like scrambles, like they get to do all of their scramble stuff, and then you go, okay, bye, and go from there. So we are still going to be able to full make Sundry here as we do push fully up the line. With an extra scramble ready, so if we get taken off the board again, then we can kind of make it happen. Obviously, the GraceNova is -3'd by the Chaperone because we didn't have enough bodies on board. Then this is going to be swing -6. I don't know where my -DP Conquest Collectibles markers went, so we would have been able to represent this game state a little bit better. But we were +4, then down to +1, and now we're -5. I think we're just trying to figure out whether he should block, because he's -5, and then the overclock is going to clear it. So he's just going to take the block now, because he's going to die to the second swing with overclock. Yeah, so being -5 means that it will die in combat, and then we're going to play the Orisa, and then we're going to pop for overclock, and then we're going to use the Orisa to float into a new Junkmon, and the Shumon going to come out. And then that is going to be attack resolving into an Agumon, and we go from there. It is the full off turn. He can't push out from this situation. Even something like a Louis would still be pretty rough because we've missed start of main timing. So yeah, we are just going to have to scoop it up and go into game 2.
Matrix Digivolution.
Don't you hate it when you're in this situation? Trying to find the number on the dice to show how much DP gain your card has received. It's also unreadable. Now let's take a look at if you had some lovely markers from Conquest Collectibles. Right here you can see it's a lot quicker, a lot simpler, and a lot more efficient. Not only that, but you are signing yourself up to some high quality resin handcrafted markers available in purple, yellow, green, both light and dark, black, orange, and many, many more to your liking. So grab yours today from Conquest Collectibles, links in the description.
And with a look towards game 2, that means we get a look towards the gang that have been supporting the channel monthly. We do have the Mega Justice Josh, who's an Ultimate Hero on YouTube, as well as a Tier 3 on Twitch. We got the Tommy NT, Tommy Tricks on the sticks on the left, 3 Strike Rule, Brad, and King of Knights at the Ultimate tier. Then for our champions, Shinikari, Coffee Deus, DHM, Stella Ouroboros, Andy Fing, Squid Eater, Benji Gibbert, Thomas Yates, Kenneth Smith, Tomato FGC, Donkey, Chava, All Force Magnet, and Kraken Security. The most recent stuff that's come out for the champions. You guys can actually see it now if you're in the Discord, which will be linked at the end of the video. Because it now says when all of my uploads go live, even the member ones. This time I'm going to build a 4 in the back, as we are going to go Corona TCG. We've seen a really little amount of Lunamon today. Like, he played the Lunamon, which ultimately ended up getting his Mirage shot, but haven't seen anything from there, and it looks like we're either missing the 5 or we want to get value out of the 5, so to buy a Catmon, open pass in the back, which allows for a 4-cost pop. And yeah, this time is actually just going to have to stay in the back as we're just slamming searches down. The Agumon actually does get some pretty decent value. As much as it, like, pre-LM, we were kind of cutting it from the list, the Agumon is pretty nice because it now threatens Bond of Bravery. Speaking of Bond of Bravery, immediately is there. It did have the barrier though, so he does get to live. And now we're going to go into the Sundry and does clear the 2 bodies on board. Revert into the Galgamon. Gonna draw an extra and gain. So we're gonna go up to 5 here. And we have already used the Inherit. Cressamon stopped the Sundry from being able to suspend, and Sundry's not making it back to him as we are gonna go through. 1 check, pop it, block it, And unfortunate ordering. If it was the other way around, we're gonna go for it. It would have like, it would have been able to float into a different body at the very least, although it would have just gotten bounced straight by the Mirage, but it would have stopped him from taking the extra security check. So really big turn from him as he basically flashbanged for security with that conversion. We're gonna go for the Junkmon for 3 and then scramble it into... Oh, interesting he chooses not to scramble. I guess wanting to save the scramble if it's gonna cost the same amount. Because you could argue, yeah, if he gets taken off board, but if he gets taken off board, he can just float with the Orisa anyway. So yeah, maybe he doesn't need to waste a scramble in that instance. We're gonna see the revert and it is gonna clear the body, and then choosing not to use the Orisa. And, ooh, that's rough. The Diana down as well to stop him from being able to suspend things with no sources. Luckily, of course, he does actually have the sources, and we're gonna put the security attack -1, but yeah, there's nothing we can do in this situation. So game 3 inbound, and with game 3 that means we got time for the rookies. We got Greatness Beam, Balfi, Bonsai Beard, Turtle Sovereign, and Samuel Lawson supporting me at the rookie tier. And for our DigiGage, Jambo TCG, John Esposito, Rose Pierce, Christian Royal, Solander Sains, Yuxo, Evan Turner, Onyx Arlen, Jean Munoz, Gray, Gimme That Gaming, Feeling Hollow, Crown Clown, Sato, Bradley Axon, Walter Caceres, Surely Not Picked, and King Fujitoro. It's been a really fun year of Digimon. Obviously, we're now in 2025, which is so weird to say, and we'll be grinding hard on all different kinds of projects. Still going to try and bring you as much Digimon content for like daily gameplay stuff, but hopefully 2025 will be the year people support some of the other projects we're working on. Going to be putting Shumon down over the Kiaro, and we're going to be sending a Junkmon down, picking up the Shushu, Sunmon into Lunamon, finally seeing the blue rookie get to do something. And speaking of the rookie, we're going to be picking up a Corona and a Cressamon off the Agumon drop. And in we go to the Shushu. That's going to be sec -1. It's really cool that yellow has started to really like change up the different things. Like sometimes you used to get decks that were shrink decks and decks that were sec- decks, and now it feels like they're pretty willing to kind of give you mix and match between the both of them. Like you will get your sec- decks and shrink in the same thing rather than committing one to the other. So you can kind of like, you know, kill what you can with shrink and sec- what you can't clear. So Luna and now the the Nightclaw Tamer swinging in with the Chaperone. And then down comes Orisa. So if we get taken off board, we can still, again, kind of play. Got a Scramble, got an Orisa. We're actually set up really, really nicely in this situation. Speaking of set up nicely, we're going to see the double hit off of the Lekismon after the revert. Speaking of revert, this time using the Lunamon revert to go into the Galgamon. I say we're digging for a 5, but we can't be because we already picked one up earlier. So I think we're just getting the sources that we can nice and early. Second revert, gonna come down. Him committing these double rookies to stacks is really important. So we're gonna consider whether we're actually going for the second revert, but we are gonna commit to it. Up to 5, second Cressamon. Okay, I mean, I guess he doesn't need to be massive because he just needs to clear the 1, and then he's trying to make himself bigger on his opponent's turn. Second check goes in after the float off the Orisa, and then we're gonna put the second Tamer down, the Light Flang Koensaiyo, and then that is gonna be putting it there, and then yes, not gonna be doing Scramble, gonna make the Grace Nova, and then we are +6 during his opponent's turn. So making sure to load up those blue tamers, blue sources was the wave. Makes it much harder for him to get rid of it. And because the body got taken down, not going to be doing that -6. It's going to be just that -3. So from +6 down to +3, we're an 18k body. And I believe this training is live. So we're going to go in. Okay, we're going to go into Sondri. And Cinderella not going to be going for an attack at all. No overclock or anything like that. So back down to 15k during his turn. Prioritizing the +6 on his opponent's turn after the last game. definitely is the wave. The thing is, I don't think Trix has a way of killing from this situation. It's just done it really, really well, where by setting him setting him to memory setter, it means that we can't do something like drop a rookie, go into a 4 without passing turn. Because ideally what he wants us to do, because we know the flare's in hand, the ideal situation would be if there was a rookie that allowed him to get to like 4, for example, like the Chronomon, then you'd be able to do something like Corona, go into a 4 and then go from there. So instead we're actually going to see the Wisteria memory boost, which can pick up blue and red. It does have Agumon and Gabumon on it, but realistically this should have Chronomon and Lunamon on it. Wisteria memory boost was made for GraceNova. Hits everything but Agumon in our deck. It's crazy. Gonna swing in for the 2 checks. Obviously we do attempt to pop the Chaperone, but it's pop the Sundry, but the Chaperone is going to take it for us. So we do just get that double breaker into security, and then we're just going to finish on a +6 body. Although, start of main, we do get the token back, so we have protection again. But the thing is, because it's level 7, it's not like you have to worry about like a level 8 ace. So, in theory, you just swing over this body. Like, you swing over the body, take all those sources out with it. Yeah, -6 is it, and then just run straight through it. Oh wait, are we just trying to figure out if there's any other way of going around it? Because he does have 2 trainings live. 2 Orisa and a yellow scramble. Yeah, because like obviously you have to clear the GraceNova, otherwise you kind of just die into the sun. There's no blockers really in Sundry. So just going to swing the first check actually at security just to see what's in there. Because we know at the very end of the day, like an overclock is going to be enough. We're going to go for the Chaperone instead. So Chaperone gives the minus, and then the swing pop gives the Chaperone. And then this threatens aces at different scenarios, I guess, which is really interesting with the way the Chaperone works out. We're going to crack the boost though and go all the way up to 8. By the way, he pushed out, evolved into a 4 for 0 cost, evolved into a 4, oh sorry, minus cost. He actually gained memory whilst evolving, and then gained memory whilst evolving again, and then cracked the boost just to be safe. Like, you would think the actions that he took cost him to be closer to 0, but he's actually gotten further away from where he started. Down comes Chronomon into Pheromon, and that is going to be just the Agumon pickup, which I guess is stopping him from decking out. Revert, and then tap the Tamer, go back into the 4. Go into the Diana, strips out all the sources, so we no longer have the protection. But the only thing I don't like about it is obviously we can't go for the restand now. We can go for the Mirage, though, to attempt to bounce a 5. And it will bounce the Chaperone. So now you're playing around -15 is still pretty big. There's no red sources in this. Ooh, by going for the Crescentmon, he's actually kind of slowed himself down. One of the really interesting things is because it was a bounce on the Chaperone, you don't get to proc the Orisa. And because of something like Overclock, you don't really get to go any further. This Coronamon was played this turn, so it's not like you can go anything crazier than that. We are looking at nearly just making a DNA. Obviously, of course, you can't because of it being named DNA rather than red-blue, so this Mirage is getting in the way. And because it actually does have the text that it needs to be out from a Lightfang Nightclaw. So doesn't get to go for lethal turn, but sets up a 3-wide board. And we're going to crack the scramble just to put the Digimon to the top, so we can pick up a rookie, and then start of main timing, we're going to go up to 4. Thanks to the Orisas, and we're going to go down for the Shumon, which puts us down to 0. Ugh. You need to somehow get Sec minus across all of these. Shumon. Yeah, he has 2 training, so he has like a free evo into a level 4 that does something. Like if you can sec minus the Mirage, presumably? Okay, to bio Catmon. Ugh. Gonna gain back a memory off the Orisa. And then training, going to the Chaperone. Alright, so we're able to keep turn, and then there's more than 3 bodies now, so now you have to figure it out. So we got the +2, we're gonna go -6 onto the Apollo. And then second Sandry, which plays out the other token. We're gonna pop the old token, which means we get to swing minus the body, swing, clear the Apollo, and then hit a second Wisteria. The Wisteria is really, really rough, because now we can go even further. Slam the Lunamon into the Galgamon, both gonna draw 1. And yeah, ooh, okay, actually, not enough. Looks like it's 7 cards, because he went minus enough from hand. 2 cards left in deck. Ooh, up we go. Gonna gain as much memory as we can, and then we're going to turn back into a 4 as we're going to evolve into the Cressamon. Cressamon stun the Sandry so it can't attack. Obviously, I mean, running out of cards in security now and cards out of things. We are going to add back the last card of security to hand, so now both clear. No defenses left, no deck left for tricks. Oh, okay. Does he have it though? Corona, attempt to draw, gain back, go into GraceNova, pop that when digivolving, pop that when attacking, Shine Greymon, burst mode, ace. Yeah, it's any tamer here, does not matter though, because even then there's no things left in decks. So if you like what you saw, and you do want to see more, and looking forward to seeing more daily Digimon content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Like I said before, join the Discord so you can get notifications when all of our uploads go live, and just generally get to meet some more of the fans in the Discord, get to know what we're up to. And if today's your birthday, then happy birthday, and as always, have yourselves a damn good one.